Hello team, welcome to learning how to squat better. One of the best exercises you can do for building overall strength, building lean muscle mass. It makes you better at everyday tasks, which is essential for living a long, happy, healthy life, and it makes you mentally tough. Now, squats are one of probably again the most common exercises that can be done incorrectly. And rather than building strong quads and glutes, which is the purpose of squats, you just end up with achy knees, sore back, and achy hips. So today I'm going to talk you through the perfect setup, when to progress to the barbell, and any points that will help you get better in your squats. So first of all, let's start with feet position. Feet roughly, I'm stand here, make sure you can see me. Start with feet hip width apart, and before you even think about the barbell, let's nail a body weight squat first. So feet hip width apart. You might want to video yourself doing this so you can compare your feet position and see which squat you get lower on. So set up a video in your house, squat down to where you can. You might get to here. Okay, video that. Then take the feet a heel toe wider. Put toes pointing slightly to the corners. Same again, video yourself. Can you get a little bit deeper here? Whichever position you can get a little bit deeper on is better for you. Now you want to make sure your bum can get down in line with the knees and back up. If you're struggling, you might get to here and you might think, oh, it doesn't feel too good. It just means we need to spend a little bit more time on our mobility before we think about the barbell. You can also pop a chair behind you or a bench in the gym. Sit down towards the bench. Imagine that bench is behind me and back up. Play around with the foot position until you find what works best for you. Over time, you do want to aim to get your bum parallel or a little bit lower. The lower we go, the more booty we need to use to get back up. Do not worry if you're not there yet. Again, it took me time to build up gradually. I actually had to strip the weight off the bar, take it back a notch, build up body weight first, and build up the technique and progress from there. Second thing, footwear. So right now I've got my trainers on that I call my slippers. They're just nice and comfy. They're not great for squatting in. You get trainers these days called Metcons. I'm just going to, here's a wee example here. These aren't mine, these are Robbie's. These are actually lifting shoes, but you get the idea of a really flat sole. This is good for squatting. So you might not be able to go out and buy a new pair of trainers, and that's okay. You want shoes with a flat sole. So you might see people squatting in Converse or like Vans. They're actually pretty good for squatting, not good for running or anything like that, but that solid base is good. If you don't have that option, when you're squatting, take your shoes off. You want to be able to feel through on the floor 3 points of contact: your heel, your small toe, and your big toe. From there, you can screw your feet into the floor to drive you back up. And if you can really feel yourself screwing the feet into the floor, that's going to push yourself back up. So 1, you've got feet positioning. 2, you've got footwear. 3, if you can nail your body weight squat, you would go to the kettlebell, which is called the goblet squat, hold it in that front rack position. And then we're onto the barbell. If you might already be using the barbell but thinking, do you know what, I'm getting aches and pains, it's okay to take it back a few notches to actually, in the long term, build up stronger there. Next, we would look at bar position. So you want that barbell under the shoulders. If that was higher, I would need to go up on my tiptoes, and that's not ideal when it's getting heavy. Same idea if it's too low, you'd be down here, which isn't ideal either. So that's good for me. So I'm coming under the bar and I'm resting on the comfy part of my shoulders. Very common, what goes wrong here is when people use the cushion, it gives you a false idea of where that bar is actually on your back. It would sit right in this corner of your neck, which we do not want. So I know it's uncomfortable without the pad, but you do get used to it, and it's much more beneficial because you can actually feel the weight on your back. When that's up there on the top of the spine, that's not good for our lower back. So rest it on the comfy part of your shoulders. You're going to use your body to step up with the bar and you walk back. You're resting it on your muscles that you have been building, okay? Now, depending on flexibility as well, your hands might be a little bit out here. Over time, We want to get them closer. A nice close grip on the bar is going to pull your elbows down, and that's going to build a stronger upper body position, which is going to help you lift more over time. So focus on bringing those elbows towards you. Pull the elbows down, lift the chest. Now you want to think about tucking your pelvis under slightly. Imagine your hips as like a bottle of water, not a bottle, a bowl of water. And if the water is going to spill out, you're going to tuck your pelvis under to stabilize that bucket of water. From here, push the bum back and down. Get as low as you feel comfortable. And then you're screwing the feet into the floor and standing up. You pull the bum down using the hamstrings, and then your chest and your hips rise at the same time. Exhale out as you stand up. Once you've finished your reps, walk back in carefully, and those hooks will take the barbell. So a couple of points, how to get basically stronger in your squat and when to reduce some of the weights. If you might not be able to get that low, depending on ankle mobility, okay? So if your ankles are, I'm going to give you a wee example here. You might squat down and your ankles want to lift, okay? So that's ankle mobility. So what we could do there is pop a very small thin plate, like maybe a 5 or 2, like 1.25s, and it just props your ankles up ever so slightly. Those lifting shoes that I showed you at the start have a little platform, and that's all it is improving your ankle mobility, and that allows you to squat nice and deep here. The ankles would be lifted. Next time, another time on when to reduce, if you're squatting here and then you lift your bum before you lift your chest. I'll show you again. Your bum wants to lift, your chest falls forward. That's when it's time to reduce and maybe take it back to a goblet squat. Another point, slightly to the front here. You squat down and your knees cave in as you come up. Squatting down, knees caving in. If that's the case, what you could try, again, reduce the weight. As you stand, press the knees out, bring your bum up. Screw the feet into the floor, drive the knees out, and that'll use your glutes and your adductors. Another one, at the bottom position, if your back's rounding here, that's putting so much pressure on your lower back. And it's just a sign, like that, it's a sign that our core muscles, our legs, our glutes, our upper back, we're just not ready for the barbell, and that is okay. If we can take it back first, promise that you'll build up gradually. So how can we get better at our squats then? Stretching, okay? A really good warm-up. Check out the warm-up video in the coach's corner. You can sit like this in this squat position. If you can start to sit like this, move around a little, warm up your ankles, warm up your knees. Do this at the start of every warm-up, every workout, but also when you're in your house. Like this actually feels a wee bit uncomfortable for me today. I'm sore from the gym yesterday, but usually this position should feel fine for me because I do it that often. So sit in that position when you're watching the TV. It'll be so uncomfortable to start. Start with like 20 seconds. Build up to 30, 40, 1 minute, 2 minutes. You want the more mobile your hips, knees, ankles, and back are, the more you're going to get out of your squats, the stronger you're going to get, and the better results you will get of that time spent in the gym. If you've only got 3 hours a week to train, you want to make sure you're getting the most out of that training session. Anyway, I hope that helps, team. Let us know if you have any questions. Squats are one of the best exercises, but quite oftenly they're not enjoyed because sore knees, sore ankle, sore back, because we're just not quite ready for that barbell yet. So you let us know any questions at all, and we cannot wait to coach you to stronger squats.